This time we're heading to a place in Ensenada called Laguna Hanson. I've been to this place many times in the past for camping with friends and family. It is around a 4-hour drive from my house. The way there takes you from Tijuana to Ensenada on a coastal road with beautiful sights. As soon as we arrive to Ensenada, we start heading inland and up into the mountains. Sometime after driving up the mountain, we make a small descent into a really dry valley, where we can find a remote and small town called Ojos Negros. Some minutes later, we take a left into a dirt road that will finally take us further up into the Laguna Hanson. I love this part of the road. The scenery changes a lot and the road is filled with sand. As we start getting close to the top, we can start to see some pine trees. The official name of this place is actually Parque Contitucion de 1857, which translates to 1857 National Constitution Park. Quite complicated, so people just call it Laguna Hanson or just La Laguna. The legend goes that a Norwegian farmer called Jacob Hanson came to Baja California with the idea in mind to raise quality cattle. The legend also says that he made a lot of money and he buried the treasure somewhere in the lagoon. He was then assaulted and killed, and no one ever was able to find this treasure. I'm not sure how true this is, but it sounds like a great story, and we all love great stories. It was getting late when I arrived, so it was better to paint the next day. For the time being, I decided to relax and soak up nature. Next day in the morning, I walked from the camping site towards the laguna to find a spot to paint. The closer I got to the water, the more windy it got. After scouting a little bit, I found the perfect spot. Tall rocks surrounded by water. There was even a rock that looked like a dinosaur skull or something. There was even trees on the back of these rocks. This is it. This is the perfect spot. Laguna was full of water like I've never seen it before. Reason being, this year we had so much rain, as I mentioned in my last video. This is a magical place, surrounded by huge granite boulders and pine trees sprouting from within the rocks. In the middle of it all, we can find a body of water, which is the laguna. Most of the year, it's totally dry. There's no water, just cracked soil. But today, it had so much water. The grass close to the laguna had red and purple tints. There were so many small frogs jumping around. I dare to say millions of frogs. You couldn't walk without stepping on them. I'm serious. Normally, these rocks are surrounded by just sand. But this time, since the water line was so high, they were surrounded by water. It felt like a small island, where the only population there were millions of frogs. The wind there was so strong that my tripod almost fell like 2 or 3 times. I had to keep holding it with one hand and with the other one paint. I never painted with so much wind on the past. It came to a point where I couldn't focus anymore. It wasn't fun nor enjoyable. The wind was too much. I decided to find another spot for a new painting and finish this one on the studio. The next day on my studio, it was time to polish the painting. I had to fix some shapes to create a better composition to make things clear. The simpler everything is, the more enjoyable a painting will be. I wanted to depict the fact that the painting took place at noon, when the sun is at its strongest. Shadows are deep, there's a lot of contrast. I also wanted to add lots of details to the water. Some parts reflect the sky and rocks, while other parts let you see through and observe the mud and the rocks beneath the water. I think I reached a point where I was content with what I had so far. It's always a good practice to stop at some point, although I always feel like I want to keep adding details. There's always a risk of overworking everything, so it's better just to stop when we are happy with what we have. I really hope you enjoyed this painting expedition. If you did, remember to give the video a like. There will be a second part with the other painting I did this day. Subscribe if you would like to see that video or more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.